BIONICLE Adventures 7 Web of the Visorak. Written by Greg Farshidi. Recording by Trajan M. Chapter 3. Matau braced himself and prepared to move. Vaki's stun staffs affected the mind only, so he didn't have to worry about physical damage. The trick would be dodging while stuck in the web. "Surrender, intruder," the Vaki repeated. Their voices were harsh, mechanical, and riddled with static. That was not half so disturbing as the fact that they even had voices. Vaki had always communicated via ultrasonics, never in an understandable language. Matau heard Wanua's Earthshock drills revving. So did the Vaki, two of their number breaking off to investigate. "Wanua, watch out! Vaki!" the Toa Bear shouted. One of the remaining Vaki unleashed a blast from his stun staff. Matau barely managed to duck his head out of the way. The bolt struck the web and promptly incinerated a large portion of it. Behind his mask, Matau's eyes widened. Vaki stun blasts couldn't do that. They were specifically designed not to cause property damage or injure Matoran. What was going on here? Another blast sounded to his left. He heard Wanua grunt and hit the ground. The other Toa would be there any moment, but there was no guarantee they would be in time. The Vaki's bolt had weakened the web. Not much, but it would have to be enough. Matau threw himself forward as if he were going to do a somersault. Some of the web ripped away from his back as his slicers cut through more. Twin bolts struck him before he could free himself, blasting him back through the web and into a clearing. He was loose, but close to unconsciousness. Wanua was having his own problems. The Vaki had caught him by surprise, the impact from their stun staffs even more so. Now they were standing over him, demanding he decide between surrender or a sudden halt to his life processes. He went with the third option. Setting forth his elemental power, Wanua caused two pillars of earth to rise rapidly out of the ground, carrying the Vaki high into the air. Then he sat up and sheared through the pillars with his drills, sending the robotic order enforcers plummeting to the ground. As soon as they recovered from the shock, they would go into flight mode. But that gave Wanua time to head back for the other Toa. He was halfway down the path when he heard two crashes behind him. Looking back at the sparking, ruined machines, he wondered why they hadn't thought to fly. The two Vaki lay silent, their robotic bodies mangled by the fall. Then, with painful slowness, their mechanical parts began to twist and bend, reshaping themselves. Limbs that had been twisted beyond repair were now straight and whole again. Shells that had been all but shattered were made solid once more. Light returned to the eyes of the Vaki. They rose, using their staffs as forelegs and listening intently for the sounds of intruders. Hearing something that seemed out of place, they quietly moved down the path Wanua had followed. Their programming was crystal clear. Their duty, as it had always been, was to prevent disorder in the city of Metronui. Unfortunately, living creatures were a constant source of disturbance to the natural order of things. But although the recent cataclysm had badly damaged the city, it had also opened the Vaki's eyes to a simple truth that changed their mission forever. After all, there would be no disorder in Metronui if there was nothing left alive. End of Chapter 3.